Hey YouTube, how the heck we doing? I wanted to hop on here and do an updated guide for patch 14.2, which dropped today. What you can expect from this video is touching up on what you already know from my ultimate guide, which I'm going to reference to, and then updating everything that's happened over the past 2 weeks because it's been a lot. So I'm not going to go over every small little detail in the patch notes. I hate those kind of videos, but I want to go over what matters for us as Teemo players and what matters for League overall. So to start, Teemo is being nerfed again. So in the past 2 weeks since Season 14 has dropped, Teemo has been overperforming at all ranks with every darn build, right? He's just been really too strong. They hotfix nerfed him, and now they're nerfing him again. So the hotfix nerf was a little bit of damage off Q and a little bit of damage off R. This additional nerf now is more damage off of E, 5%, and now a 5-second cooldown increased on the R. So 30, it used to be 30, 25, 20 recharge timer. Now it's 35, 30, 25. So these are pretty big nerfs. Now, please don't overreact. I'm already seeing a lot of overreactions happening, right? Teemo did get 2 nerfs, which is a big deal, but you have to think he is still way better than last season, right? 10 times better than last season. Teemo hasn't been this strong in, what, 4 years since he last got nerfed? So don't overreact. He's still going to be a great champion. These nerfs are pretty fair, to be honest. But also, there's going to be a change that is all the way down here, and you might miss it. I'm going to have to find it again. I found it earlier, but it's a little tough. So let's go to quality of life changes, which are, these are bugs. These are quality of life. Okay, so right here, Teemo's default adaptive force stat changed AD to AP. So if you weren't aware of Teemo, he's coded as a marksman. You know, all we know he's not a marksman, aka ADC. So his adaptive force has always been AD. So that means when you take this little rune, I'm going to show you right now on the client. When you take this rune 9 adaptive force, that was giving 5 AD. Adaptive force is not the same. It could be either 9 AP or 5 AD. It's not 9 AD or AP. It's 9 AP or 5 AD. So if you were building an item that does not give AP because it switches over when you buy an item that has, the damage type, it will go default AD. What that means is that when you're playing jungle and when you're playing support and you're buying the jungle or support item, you are getting AD instead of AP in a lower amount. So what this small little change means is that although Teemo is nerfed, Teemo jungle and support were buffed, and if you're buying Doran Shield in lane, Teemo is buffed, right? Because AP is better than AD on Teemo, especially in the early game. Now, you can still go AD Teemo. You can go on a hit. That's fine, right? But these are big changes, okay? Especially for jungle and support. So now that brings us to the next change on the same topic. They are switching up the stat charts a little bit. So the first row is saying the same. You can go AP, attack speed, or ability haste. The second row now, you can still go AP. Now you can go either movement speed or bonus health. So for Teemo, I think movement speed could be okay in the top lane, right, in some matchups. But for jungle and support and for mid lane, you're probably going to want to go adaptive force with the damage. I think for the jungle clear and for the support especially, since those are going to be like the coolest roles now with these changes, I think you need the adaptive force. Now the third shard, all right, it's going to be bonus health, tenacity, or slow resist, or regular base health, right? It used to be, right, health, armor, and MR only defense. Now it's going to be health, scaling bonus health, or tenacity and slow resist. You're probably still going to go the health, maybe some games tenacity and slow resist, but not a lot of big changes there. Big changes for League, but not for Teemo. Okay, so now this brings us to the items, okay? What the heck do we build now? What's going on here? So for top lane, right, you can still go... Okay, so let's clear up something really first. That's the patch notes, so that's the big ones for Teemo, right? That's all you need to know from the patch notes. Now, to go over the runes and builds, right? So we have seen a clear winner. Even myself was wrong, right? And I'm going to reference the Ultimate Guide, because in the Ultimate Guide, I have a lot of builds there for you. Please still use Ultimate Guide. It's not bad. But I think we see a clear winner in these past 2 weeks with Malignance. Now, I always say Malignance to troll y'all, but I understand it's called Malignance, but we are all calling it Maligma, all right? But we've seen a clear winner. With the Shroom nerfs, with all the nerfs, this is still probably going to be the best build. I'm not going to say 100%, because who knows what league, but I still would recommend Malignance as your go-to build. I've been going it for every single role, and it's the strongest item by far, in my opinion, because you have to think the thought process here, right? Look at the thought process. Last season, Teemo was just okay, and the build was Press Attack Nashor's Riftmaker, right? This season, Teemo's infinitely times better. It's not because Press Attack and Nashor's Berserkers, right? Those items didn't get changed. It's not because Riftmaker's pretty dead on Teemo. Why is Teemo so much better than now than last season? It's got to be because of the new items, right? The new Malignance, the new Liandry's, right? It only makes sense. So this is the clear winner. I like to go this in every role at the moment. In top lane, I'll be going Malignance, and we'll get into the rest of the build. Jungle, same deal, and especially support. Now, I was going a full AP build as well, utilizing the new Shadow Flame and the new Storm Surge. But Storm Surge has been nerfed pretty heavily, right? So Storm Surge has been nerfed, kind of killing the full AP build. I don't think it's nearly as good anymore. It still can be viable. Remember the full AP build, which will be Sork Boots and Shadow Flame, right? The full AP build is looking like this: Sork Boots, Shadow Flame, Lichbane, Death Cap, right? This is still viable. It's just not as good because Storm Surge got nerfed so heavily. But this is still going to be good when you're playing versus a team with no magic resist or all squishies. But now my normal build, right, where the one where I do the most is CDR Boots and Malignance. So let's dive into that. So top lane, mid lane, jungle, support, it doesn't matter. For support, I highly recommend Lucidity Boots in a Malignance, right? Because you're only going to get one or two items along with Zaxax, because this item is pretty gold for support Teemo. But I'm seeing other Teemos go Sorcerer's Shoes into Malignance, or even Sorcerer's Shoes Liandry's first. It doesn't make sense to me, right? Liandry's is not a rush first item, in my opinion, because it scales at max HP. And Malignance is a rush first item because you get that ultimate haste and ability haste ASAP. So I don't understand the Sorc Shoes Liandry's. I don't see why Liandry's would be a good first item over Malignance. Malignance gives you everything you need. So that being said, I am going this build every single game. I am going Malignance first into Lucidity Boots second, because while I'm playing Shroom Teemo, right? We're playing Shroom Teemo with Malignance. I don't care about a little magic pen. I care about 15 more haste, especially since the Shroom cooldown did get nerfed. So I think this is going to be the go-to build. I would highly recommend this. Now, again, just touch base on other builds I see floating around. You can still build what you want. On-hit Teemo is still fine. It's not bad, right? This is the year of Teemo flexibility, really. So you can go on-hit Teemo. I think it's not bad. You can go press the attack Teemo, Berserker Grease. It's not bad. You can go Tank Mo. Tank Mo, I think, is the best in lower elos because it covers up that big mistake of dying too much. So you can still go any build you want. I just think this is the best build now from a fundamental core standpoint, from a conceptual standpoint, right? So let's go over in depth the situational aspect, and we'll tackle runes in a moment. So you see the situational tab here. Your most common is going to be Malignance Liandry's, right? But there are games, again, Liandry's is a tank shredder. Liandry's doesn't do damage if they have low HP. It's based on max HP. So every game I like to ask myself, is Shadow Flame valuable here? Are they all squishies that are going to get chunked, or they're going to get executed, right? Because Liandry's is max HP damage. So the first thing is I build Malignance CDR Boots. Then I ask myself, hey, are they all squishy? I can go Shadow Flame. If not, we can go Liandry's, right? Then I ask myself, do I need Magic Pen? I like to build Crypt Bloom again. So if you look at Crypt Bloom before Void Staff, these items are both nearly the same. 70 AP 30 pen, 80 AP 40 pen. But Crypt Bloom gives that 15 haste. Again, if I'm going a Shroom build, I don't necessarily care about having 10% more Magic Pen. I care about having 15 more haste worth of Shrooms, right? Haste does not go bad after a certain while. You can't stack armor and MR because Void Staff and LDR exist, but they can't do anything about haste. They can't buy more sweepers. You can only have a max of 5. So again, this is something I'm doing. I don't see anybody else doing. I don't understand why. 15 haste over 10 AP and 10 magic pen, in my opinion. So again, situationally, Shadow Flame, Liandry's, look over that, then your magic pen item. And after that, it's kind of like, hey, do I need Grievous Wounds? Do I need more AP? Do I want to one-shot them with Lichbane, right? After that, I'll be honest, it really doesn't matter what you build AP-wise. Now, Riftmaker is dead and gone. It's getting nerfed. It's already been on Teemo and getting nerfed. And here's the big surprise. Zanyas and Banshees feel like absolute poo-poo. I thought these items were going to be good since they have so much AP, but they feel like crap to build. They're so expensive, and they barely ever save you. So I would be going full damage Teemo this patch for sure. I don't recommend going to defensive items. So your full build is going to look a little something like this, right? This is what an average full build looks like. You could go Cosmic Drive. I think, like, if you look at the strength of items, I think Liandry's and Malignance and Shadow Flame and Deathcap are on their own. The rest of them are like B tier. After this, you can go Cosmic, Lichbane, it don't matter. But this is going to be like an example looking build. And again, Liandry's over Shadow Flame is fine, or build both is fine. But this is my average build is what it's looking like, right? These are like my 3 most built items. And you may see no Nashers, right? Again, I think Nashers is out the window. Nashers didn't get buffed. It got worse this season, right? It's you got to keep up with the times. If they're releasing items like Malignance, there's no way we're building Nashers anymore. Again, so you can build whatever you want, but this is just my recommendation for what I think is going to be the best build. And that's all roles. Top, jungle, mid, support. I was playing ADC. I got ADC to Masters, right? But I think without the support item bug that you saw in my recent YouTube video, it's going to be a little bit harder. Also, just a quick update, right? Since I have you here, I am grinding this season, so you're in the hands of a gamer, right? Again, I'm not just giving you all this from like because I'm bored, right? These are my accounts right now. I have a master account for mid lane. This is my mid lane client, 71% win rate. Teemo 4 Masters, right? This is all mid lane games. This is my ADC account, Teemo 221 Masters, 72% win rate. All solo queue only. I've just been grinding. This is my main account right now, right? Ended Challenger Split 1, 64%. I'm playing jungle and top. And this is my top lane account. Right here, Teemo 40. It's going decent. 57% win rate, D3, 12 and 9. So I am grinding, right? So I have 2 Masters account right now. I'm actively playing, so my information should be trusted, in my opinion. I feel like I've got a good grip on the game now. So last but not least, let's go over runes. Runes is going to be the most flexible. So for support, I think there's only one rune page, right? I think support, you have to go Dark Harvest. And support Teemo's going to be really good, by the way. It's on the come up. But I think you have to go Dark Harvest. Just the potential of getting all those Harvest procs are too darn good. I could see some games going Hail Blades to win lane. Because if you're verse somebody as support and you pop out of the bush and do 1, 2, 3 autos, get back in the bush, it's a nasty combo. I also see the potential for Press the Attack being good versus a tanky support. And Nautilus hooks on your ADC, you auto 3 times and shred him with Press the Attack. So I think those are the options, right? You could go Comet, Kumax. I've seen that before, but it feels like the least out of all of them, like the least impactful. So I would say Dark Harvest if you want to just pick one page every game. If you want to get fancy with a Hellblade and Press the Attacks, there are options. But this is really the go-to page along with the build, right? And the secondary, Absolute Focus, Gathering Storm. I think Absolute Focus is a necessity because, again, look at all the AP we're starting with now. This is the beauty of this patch. The Adaptive Force changed. Before this patch, you were starting with AD like a noob. Now we're starting with AP. We're going to be starting with 21 AP level 1. That is massive, right? Teemo support does damage when you start with 21 AP compared to last patch, starting with 0 Ziltzada AP is going to be a massive change. So I would highly recommend this page. Jungle, again, I feel like it's the same deal in the jungle. It's very hard to be flexible with your pages. I am playing the Malignance version. Last season, I was going Press the Attack, but now, again, Malignance is too good. I'm carving all my strategies towards Malignance. So, again, you're going to see Dark Harvest with the Ultimate Hunter. Feels like a necessity. The secondary, you can kind of go what you want. I like Alacrity and Triumph because I feel like that early clear is hard. That's also why I'm going that attack speed. But you could go Absolute Focus, right? You could go Boots and Cosmic Insight. Kind of just depends on what you want to do. Again, this is one of those things where it doesn't really matter. They're all going to be similar, right? Like if you want to go Absolute Focus and you know, Water Walking or Absolute Focus Gathering Storm, you wanted to stack AP because with this setup, you're starting with 21 AP. I think this is a good strat. I think it's really similar to this, right? You're having AP instead of attack speed or attack speed instead of AP. They're all going to be very similar. If you wanted to start here, instead of having the AP or the attack speed, you're having an extra smite. It's all very similar. It's all about the same, right? We're not going to spill our milk over this secondary. I just think the main one matters, right? Dark Harvest didn't get value every game. Teemo went from being a crazy maniac with Pressy Attack to now being a scaler with Dark Harvest Malignance, in my opinion. So again, I just think this first part's mandatory. Now for top lane is where you're going to have the most flexibility. Top lane, you can kind of go whatever rune you want. It just depends on your play style, right? If you want to try and win lane, it's always when you press the attack. Press the attack, berserkers, boom, and do your build how you want. If you want to go Nashor, if you want to go Malignance, that's fine. But press the attack and berserker boots will be your highest chance of getting solo dolos, so that's going to be that route. So a page would look like this. Secondary, it's up to you. If you wanted to go fleet's good to survive. That's viable top lane. So this and secondary is up to you, right? A couple secondary rune options I like going. You can always go Nimbus Cloak Celerity versus if you need a matchup that you have to dodge a lot. You can go Gathering Storm Absolute Focus for scaling. You can go this for tanking, conditioning overgrowth. You can go this for like Jack's Riven, right? Bone Plating Unflinching, right? For the CC reduction. You can go Cheap Shot Old Hunter for the shrooms. Those are the secondary options. It doesn't matter what you go, right? So press the attack for 1v1, fleet for just living, Dark Harvest if you're a greedy boy and playing for that team fight, Airy for a balanced damage approach, right? Because Airy is good early game and it's also good late game. It's just a balanced rune page. You can go Grasp if you need to survive, and you can stack those procs. I've been enjoying Grasp versus tanky top laners, right? You're versus an Udyr, and you just stack 30 Grasp procs. Kind of feels good. Last but not least, I think you can go First Strike versus any lane that is non-threatening, so you can just farm the gold. So again, take any of those pages with any of those secondaries, and top lane is good to go. Top lane, most flexible, kind of do what you want. Again, Malignance. That's all I'm building right now. I think it's the best build, but totally up to you. So again, this was very quick. I just wanted this to be an update. Please refer back to the Ultimate Guide, which has tons of good information still. This is just a patch 14.2 update. So a little TLDW, too long didn't watch, okay? Starting with the patch notes. Boom. Adaptive Force change means Teemo jungle and support is good. Teemo nerf is bad, but it's not the end of the world. He's still a wonderful champion. Okay? Runes and builds. Any rune you want top lane. Dark Harvest in jungle and support. For build, Malignance is king. Malignance Leandries. Malignance Shadow Flame into Crypt Blossom or Void Staff. CDR boots is king. Some people build Sork boots. Don't recommend. You enjoy some Teemo on patch 14.2. He's still a wonderful pick, and I'll see you on the Rift. Thanks for watching.